Gurubhyo Namaha. Hello viewers and dear students. Welcome back to our channel. So, have you ever think if someone says you that you look exactly same as your grandpas or exactly same as your grandmother, and if someone says you look similar to your parents, I will think what's the reason behind this? So, in simple words, we can say it is due to heredity and inheritance. Gregor John Mendel, through his experiments by considering the garden pea plants, okay, visible characteristics of garden pea plants, conducted few experiments, and the results of these experiments made him to give the laws of inheritance. Okay. So generally we call it is Mendelian laws of inheritance, and usually we call it as Mendel's experiment. Okay. So process of inheritance of such traits with respect to human beings are related such that both the father and the mother contribute equal amount of genetic material to their child. Right. Thus each trait has control over both paternal and maternal DNA. Thus there will be two versions in child. Understood? Now what are the laws he gave? So since he formulated these most important laws for analysis or to know the exact process of inheritance, we call Gregor John Mendel as father of genetics, right? So first and foremost law what he gave is law of dominance. Law of dominance. And second law is law of segregation. And third law is law of independent. So these are the three laws which Mendel gave through his experiments by considering the garden pea plants, the visible characteristics of garden pea plants. Okay. Now in this session we will see these two laws, that is law of dominance and law of segregation. Okay. Law of independent assortment I'll try to explain you in the next session. Okay. So for this what he took is, he took tall plants and short plants. For his experiment, he took tall plants and short plants, and these are traits, like traits, or we can call it as alleles. Okay, and these are homozygous, and also it is monohybrid. Okay, only single character is considered. Okay, so during the gamete formation, what the law of segregation states is, during the gamete formation, the alleles, okay, these are called alleles, the traits, okay, individual, these are called alleles. Okay, the alleles will segregate or separate each other such that each gamete consists of, or each gamete have only one allele for each gene. Okay, so thus in F1 generation we got all. So these are, if we say these are gametes, right? So in F1 generation I can show you like this. Okay, if both homozygous and monohybrid plants are considered, in F1 generation all plants he got is tall plants. Okay, this is F1 generation, or sometimes we can call it as progeny of F1 generation, or you can also call it as offsprings, because this is parental generation. If you consider here, you can call this as the offspring. Okay, and I already told you the offspring or the child have two versions, right? But here you can observe this is tall plant. Once you got in F1 generation all plants as tall plants, immediate question arises, right? Whether this tall plant is similar to or exactly same as the parental plant. In order to understand that, what Mendel did is he continued his experiment further. So through self-pollination, self-pollination, he took the offsprings and so this is F2 generation, right? In F2 generation, what he got is, he got tall plant. So here you can observe, he got out of 4 plants, he got 3 plants, tall plants, and 1 plant, short plant. So out of 4 plants, 1 plant he got short plant and 3 plants he got tall plants. So this ratio we call it is phenotype. Okay, this is phenotype ratio, or phenotype, generally phenotype we call. Okay, now you observe the genotype. Even though TT, that is 2 copies, or both T and 1 copy with capital T and other copy with small t, these also they are tall plants. Okay, but the genetic or the genetic material differs in this case. So it is, you can write it is 1:2:1. That is TT plants and 2 T and capital T and small t and 1 both small t. This ratio we call it is genotype, or the genetic material, okay, in the traits. Now here you can observe, even in F1 generation, or before that, you can observe here only single copy of T. That is, single copy of T is enough to make the plant tall. Okay, in F1 generation also you can observe, and in F2 generation also you can observe it. Only 1 copy of T is enough to make the plant tall. So such trait which is responsible to express its character, with 1 copy it is able to express its character, such trait we call it as dominant trait. Okay, so dominant trait. Here in this case it is T. T is the dominant trait. At 2 generation it shows both the characteristics, or both characteristics of parents. That is, both tall plants are available and both short plants also available. Thus we can say the tallness is expressed and the characteristics of shortness of the plant is inherited, and it is expressed in the F2 generation. This is what the law of dominance tells us. Now the question comes, whether this law of dominance is universally accepted. Before I'll tell you the answer, you just do the case studies. If you have some neighbors or in any of your relatives, if you see the curly hair and straight hair of parents, what will be the hair nature of the offspring or the child, whether it has curly hair or straight hair. You just examine that. Okay, now this is, as I told you, the curly hair and straight hair. Again, it is an example for incomplete dominance. So you watch that 4 o'clock plant incomplete dominance example and try to work out for curly hair and straight hair. Okay. So hope you understood this law of dominance and law of segregation. And law of dominance, what it states is, a single copy of T is enough to make the plant tall, or in F1 generation only the dominant traits or dominant characteristics are inherited, and in F2 generation both the characteristics of parental generations are expressed. Okay, whereas in F1 generation only the dominant characteristics are expressed, whereas the recessive characteristics are inherited. Okay, and law of segregation, what it states is, during the gamete formation the alleles will segregate each other in such a way that each gamete has only 1 allele for each gene. Okay, hope you understood this video. If so, give a like and don't forget to share it with your friends or students, and kindly support our channel, subscribe our channel. Thank you.